Wow, that was nice. Nice rendition of Green Sleeves. So here we are. The first screen of King's Quest. Now, it may not look like much now, but when this first came out in 1983, people were pretty impressed by this because not only was it a fully rendered 16-color landscape, but you could walk behind objects, you could walk in front of objects, and it had a parser interface to allow you to interact with things. This is the castle of King Edward the Benevolent. And, well, it's kind of weird. He should kind of go behind that. But the fact that you could go behind things was not seen yet in games at that point. It hadn't reached this point of complexity. You see, I think he should be walking behind the bridge at that point instead of walking right onto it. But, you know, first adventure game, I'm not going to nitpick too much. And it's my first death in an adventure game. Misfortune strikes and you have fallen into the moat. Your struggles and cries have attracted hungry alligators. They do not want to let you go. And I'm dead. We at Sierra wish to thank you for playing King's Quest. We are very sorry that you did not succeed and hope you will fare better next time. Good luck. So yeah, that's King's Quest. That's the end. Just kidding. I'm gonna play through it. It's actually a pretty short game when you know what you're doing, and I have beaten this game more than a few times. First time I beat it was probably sometime in the late 80s. Wasn't my first game, but it was one of the first games I ever played. I pretty much know it pretty well. Just even though it's been a long time, I probably remember a lot. The huge doors swing open slowly. So here we go inside the castle. We already got a point for opening the door, which is nice. Can look at hallway. One thing that's different about this game than the other Sierra Adventure games is that if you just type look, it tells you need to be more specific. Most Sierra games kind of give you like a general layout and like tell you what's important in the screen you're in when you're doing that. Alright, here's the king's throne room. Look at King. You're not close enough to see him clearly. Here. King Edward the Benevolent is a very wise but elderly monarch. His frail body is almost lost in the large throne. Let's bow to our king. I know we get points for that. 3 points. When you bow to King Edward, his pleased smile warms you. Talk to King. When you speak to King Edward, he sighs and says, "King Graham, I am an old man. I fear my end is near. I have chosen you to prove yourself worthy of the throne. As you know, our kingdom is weak and poor. I have knowledge of the existence of 3 things that would make our kingdom wealthy and strong. Somewhere within our kingdom there is a magic mirror that tells the future. There is a magic shield that will protect the bearer from mortal harm. Finally, there is a magic chest that is always filled with gold coins. Go, Sir Graham, go and bring me back these treasures. If you succeed, you will inherit the throne." Nice. So, that's our quest. It's basically find three things, and they're not that hard to find. They are a little bit difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but I know what I'm doing, so it shouldn't be too hard. This is one of the easier adventure games that Sierra came out with. At the time, I'm sure it was kind of difficult, but they kind of got harder as time went on. The games got longer. But this one was pretty simple in comparison to some of the later ones. I think Roberta Williams actually programmed the whole thing for the most part herself. I think it was her and her husband kind of worked on it. Her husband did the programming, she did the graphics. So, you see a large gray rock, which is pretty impressive, especially for the time. Let's push it. With a heave and a hoe, you manage to move the rock, revealing a dark hole underneath it. Although, actually, there were other people involved, obviously, if you look at the credits. But I think it was mainly Roberta Williams that came up with the story and the graphics. And she did most of the work in this. Let's look in the hole. There's an intricately carved dagger in the hole. Take dagger. You reach into the hole and grasp the dagger, being careful not to cut yourself. Oh, excuse me. One of the reasons I've been doing these Let's Plays is because I haven't been feeling good. Gives me something to do. So yeah, now we've got a dagger. We can actually look at it. If you push F4, it gives you your inventory and allows you to pick through the item and give you a more detailed look at what you have. So here's us looking at the dagger. Its handle is beautifully carved. The blade is bronze and very sharp. Nice. Alright, so let's explore a bit more. Okay, this tree, I know we can climb. Look at tree. This is a very large oak tree with branches stretching to the sky. Climb tree. Okay. So now we're on the tree, and this is one of the times where you're walking on a narrow thing that you can easily fall off. I'm not sure if you die if you fall, though. Let's see. Oh, made it. Look at nest. There's a purple, a pearl, a purple. There is a pure golden egg lying in the nest. Take egg. The golden egg is so heavy you almost drop it. Okay, let's look at this. The smooth golden egg shines brightly in the sun. Now, one thing about this game that was different about the other King Sierra games is that most of the items you picked up, like treasures like that, like golden eggs and things like that, that were valuable items, you really never had to use. It was just sort of something. Apparently you lost your grip while climbing this tree, and you fall to the hard earth below. Let's see if this kills me. Ouch. Oh, survived it. Nice. Okay. All's well. Yeah, if you, all the treasures that you pick up in this game, for the most part, you don't really need. They're just sort of there to get points so that you can get the full score at the end of the game. So yeah, it's a lot more open, this game. It's just a free and open world. Let's look at this garden here. This is a well-tended carrot patch. The carrots look tempting to a hungry traveler. Okay, let's take one. You pluck a plump orange carrot from the ground. So yeah, it's this is one of the tastiest looking carrots you have ever seen. Yeah, it's just an open world. You can find any of the treasures you want in any order you want. That they changed actually in the remakes. In the 1991 remake, they changed it. I think actually it was 1990 that they came out with the remake with the SCI engine, which is the engine that Quest for Glory 1 the other Let's Play that I'm doing, came out in. Has a little bit better graphics, and when you type it, it actually pauses the game for you so you can type a little bit more slowly. Let's see what's going on here. Gentle Sir Graham, I am your fairy godmother. Your quest is indeed noble. My small part to aid you can be no bigger than this magic spell, protective but for a little while. Okay, so we got a little protective spell. So now we are invulnerable from bad guys for a while. We can save. So we can continue our quest a little bit more confident in the fact that we won't get hurt. For a while, at least. Okay, patch. I don't understand patch. And that was the problem with these adventure games, is with the parser interface, is that it didn't understand everything he said, which is why they changed to the point-and-click interface in the 90s. There's a small patch of clover under the tree. The clover is soft, yet you sense a strange strength in it. So I got a 4-leaf clover. You have a perfectly shaped 4-leaf clover. The typing became a liability to them because a lot of people were complaining that you couldn't type like you try to type things, and oftentimes it would say, I don't understand that. So they changed to point and click. As you start to cross the bridge, a wretched troll appears. This is the ugliest, meanest troll I have ever seen. Switches to first person there, huh? The troll demands a treasure for passage across this bridge. Now, this is one of the things. I could give him my egg, my golden egg, and he'll leave, but I'll lose points because you want to end with treasures. So there's actually a better way to get around him, which is what I'm going to do. And like I said, the later games, they would pause when you would type. So it would give you more time to type. You could take your time. But these games, you were kind of under the, like if you were in a dangerous situation, you had to type quickly, the game wouldn't pause for you. So you would basically just have to type quick. And this actually got me really good at typing, playing these games. Playing between this, Space Quest. High up in the sky, you see a very large, friendly bird. This is a big condor. Its graceful flight appears effortless. Now this bird, you can jump. Okay, that button swims. That button ducks. What's the jump button? You can actually jump to catch this bird if I can figure out what the button is. Jump is 0. Yeah. And it'll take you to the area where you can find the magic shield. What's interesting about this is that you can find the shield. The first thing you find is the shield. I don't want to do it yet because you can't leave once you get there unless you have, and you need certain items to get past some of the puzzles. So it will bring me to a dead end if I grab onto it now. But if I find the items, I can actually get the magic shield first. And like the king said, it protects the carrier from all sorts of harm. So it's a good item to find first. But in the remake, the condor wouldn't come out until after you found the other 2 treasures. So they forced it to be the last treasure you find, so you couldn't basically breeze through the rest of the game without worrying about enemies. So you know what? I'm gonna actually try to get the shield first this time. You vaguely see the outline of a cave entrance. just because we can in this version of the game. It is empty except for a huge boulder opposite the opening. In this game, I think it doesn't have a fastest speed, it just has normal, fast, and slow. So the fast is really fast. Ye best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell of mine has weakened and departed. Alright. Well, that's alright. There's a huge piece of granite. It is impossible for you to move a boulder this large. Alright. Let me put it back on normal. I'm not comfortable with it going that fast because you never know when you're going to walk off screen into like an enemy or into the water. Because not only do you go fast, but the enemies go fast too when you put it on fast speed. A lot of these areas, they're just kind of there. There's really nothing here to look at. Oh, here we go. Here's something. Also, if you walk too far in one direction, you'll eventually loop around. That was something that was common in these games. This is the sweetest little gingerbread house you ever saw. The walls are cake, the roof is frosting, the chimney looks delicious, and the candy path and cookie fence are unbearably tempting. Let's eat the house. As you begin to eat the house, a squeaky voice from somewhere says, "Nibble, nibble, little mouse, who is nibbling at my house?" Alright, well, let's say this is the witch's we'll call it the gingerbread house. Obviously from Hansel and Gretel. So let's see the witch inside. Surprise, surprise! The wicked witch is home and now she's after you. Rats! She has cast some spell to keep you from escaping. The witch remarks, "Oh, how nice of you to come for dinner." Cackle, cackle. Cackle, cackle. Alright. She pokes and pinches you, then states, "This one is too scrawny, so it's into the cage until you fatten up." Smack! Yum! So yeah, I'm stuck in a cage. Oops, don't understand which. With a flash, you hear her joyously exclaim, "This has made me feel like flying!" I guess you can't get out. We at Sierra wish to thank you for playing King's Quest. We are very sorry that you did not succeed and hope you will fare better next time. Good luck. Alright, well, can't win all the time. Let's see if she's still here. Yeah, she's still in there. So you don't want to go there when she's in there, obviously, because she'll kill you. But sometimes she's not there. Sometimes she goes out and... Oh, there she is. She appeared right on top of me. The witch swoops down, grabs you by the neck, and carries you off to a fate worse than death. Here I am in the sky. It's too bad my protective spell wore off. Probably would have saved me from this. Flying very slowly. Ouch. As the wicked witch flew over her house, she dropped you into her cage. So the ceiling's open there? If you can't get out, you may become the secret ingredient in this witch's brew. So back in the cage. You can walk around for a little bit, but then I think the game ends. Let me out! Try as you will to escape, your labor will be in vain. It's a puzzle with no solution. Alright, let's try again. Let's see if she's home. Obviously she is because I checked before. Now let's see if she's still there. She's still there. Let's leave and come back. Yep, now she's not here. Alright, so let's look. Cabinet on the wall is rather plain and simple. Sitting on the shelf is a delicious piece of Swiss cheese. You pluck the Swiss cheese from the shelf. Okay. Off in the distance, you hear a high, squeaky voice say, "I could smell someone tasty in my house." Oh. Now, when this happens, you want to hide from her. Best place to hide is in here. See what's on this table here. It is written in a familiar language. Take the note. You grab the note from the table. Let's read it. The note reads, "Sometimes it is wise to think backwards." Now that's a hint for a puzzle that you get later on in the game, obviously. The witch mutters, "I am going to get my oven ready to cook someone for dinner. Yum." Alright, now, for those of you who have read a Hansel and Gretel, you should know what to do. Oops, not close enough. Courageously, you manage to push the witch into the oven, where she flashes and melts away into a harmless blob. Congratulations! Look at that stove. It is an old wood stove and very hot. The fire must have been burning for some time. Alright, so we just cooked the witch. And we got some cheese and a note out of there. Doing pretty good so far. See what else we could do. So now the witch won't be coming out here anymore. Alright, well, here's a well. And I already know where this goes. The well is deep and dark, but you can see the sky's reflection on the water. Okay. Let's lower the bucket. The old bucket disappears into the darkness. Now, let's venture forth inside. Climb rope. Alright. Now we're inside. Ooh, shit. Can I cut the rope from here? Reach out. You reach up out of the well water and cut the thick rope that holds the bucket. Okay, I guess I have it already. Let me see. I've got water bucket. Okay, let's fill it up. With difficulty, you fill the bucket while swimming. Let's see what else I got. I got the cheese. The Swiss cheese looks fresh and moist. Got the note. There's a message written on the note. The 4-leaf clover. Okay, let's dive underneath and see what's here. Look at bottle. It looks like this bottle has been here for a very long time. It's just an old junky bottle. You don't want it. Cannot get the bucket. I don't know what that is, but I don't think I need it. Ooh, a dragon. Let's save here. Oops. I want to call it something. This ferocious fire-breathing dragon with sharp green scales and a long tail is protecting the magic mirror. Watch out for the flames. Alright, looks like I got up to the mirror already. Look at mirror. If you could get a much better view if you were closer. Alright. Well, obviously if you get too close you're gonna get burned. There's a dragon. So, there's actually two ways to get past him. You can throw your dagger at him, but you don't get that many points for that. The best way to beat him is to throw water. You throw your water, but to no avail. It lands on the floor, quickly to be absorbed. Okay, obviously that's not the way to do it. The water hits the dragon squarely in the mouth. I guess I needed to get closer for it. Extinguishing its roaring flames. No fire. How mortified and embarrassed the dragon is. Oh, you blew out my fire. Moving a huge boulder in leaving, the dragon creeps off to sulk. Just moves it with telepathy, it looks like. Alright, so let's grab this. I got one of the magic treasures already, which, like I said, it's a pretty easy game. It's pretty quick. The magic mirror is framed with ornate mahogany wood, polished to a high sheen. Carefully, you pick up the magic mirror. But it is interesting how there's multiple ways to get past things, and not everything will give you full points, but, you know, some things, it could still get you through it. And there's different directions to take, different paths. It's a very free and open game where you could just wander freely. It's hard to get stuck in the dead end. Like I said, the only way to get into the dead end is if you grab onto the condor too soon without having all the necessary items, because you can't get back until you finish that part. That's the only dead end part of this game. The rest is pretty, you know, other than saving at bad times right before you're about to die, there's really no other dead end I can... Ooh, look out for that wolf. He can run very fast. Don't let him catch you. Of course, he appeared right on me. Alright, let's go back to the dragon. Okay. So yeah, you gotta watch out for things like that. You never know when when the enemy's gonna appear right next to you. Let's look at it. As you are holding the magic mirror, you look into it and see a vision of yourself with a crown on your head. I am a king! Or I will be, King Graham. Alright. So I guess I didn't get the shield first, like I promised, but I'll get it next. That's alright. I figure I was there, I might as well grab it. It's an easy one to get. I can't get it yet because... Actually, I can. Now I can go there. But I won't get full points. I won't get full points. Because there's a better way to get past a certain puzzle. Like, I have everything to get past the puzzle once I grab onto the condor. But if I go there now, I won't get full points. Because the way that I'll get past it will be not as good a way as if I went there with a different item, with an item that I don't have yet. Alright, so let's open the gate. The gate is rather heavy, but you've managed to open it. Let's look at this goat here. It is high enough to keep animals inside. Alright, let's see. Goat is wandering this way and that. Show carrot. When you tempt the old goat with a carrot, he starts to follow you. Now I like this because there's no pathfinding necessary. The goat just stays right on top of you. All you have to do is walk around with him, and he's there with you. Oh, maybe not. Now he's following me. Now I remember there's something here. Looking stump. Inside the old rotted stump you notice a small canvas pouch. Take pouch. You notice the pouch feels aged and tattered. Let's open the pouch. Cautiously, you open the pouch and see many sparkling and flashing diamonds. Quickly, you close it again so as not to lose any. See how, even just by opening the pouch, I got points. So it's very easy to miss points in this game. Be funny to see. I guess a better challenge than beating this game with full points is trying to beat it with the minimum amount of points, seeing how little points you can get before you beat it. Because there's so many places where you can miss points in this game, and if you know the game well enough, you could. It's not that difficult to beat with full points, but it might be more difficult to beat with the minimum points. Might be a good challenge. Alright. So let's explore a bit more. And the goat is stuck behind that flower. So I guess I was wrong about the good pathfinding in this game. But at least he appears right next to you when you go on to the next screen. That's good at least. Now, for those of you who haven't guessed, this goat comes in handy against the troll. If you've read the Billy Goat's Gruff fairy tale, you'll know that goats knock trolls off bridges. So all I have to do is find where that bridge is. And I don't remember. I think it was this way. Come on, goat. Stuck behind a tree. Oh, he's coming. The pathfinding's not that bad, all things considered. The Sega version had horrible pathfinding. Don't play the Sega version. I saw Paul playing that the other day on his Let's Play, and it looked horrible. I mean, there's no animations. Like, Graham's walking sprite is like two sprites, basically. Two sprites looped. Looks horrible. And they really cheesed out on it. As you start to cross the bridge, a wretched troll appears. It is a well-known fact that goats hate trolls intensely. You should move aside and let the goat take care of this nasty troll. The goat butts the troll right off the bridge, never to be seen in these parts again. Thanks, goat. There's no goat here. Oh, he's gone. Alright, so yeah, that was one way to get past this. That's the best way. That gets you the most points. But you could also give him the golden egg, or the diamonds, or any other gold or treasure you find. You see a crotchety old gnome pacing around his lean-to. Crotchety. Alright. Crotchety, 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 crotchety. I am a crotchety old gnome. I'm crotchety, crotcheting around the floor, the dirt. Crotchety old gnome. Let's talk to gnome. The old gnome tells you he has something that may be very useful to you. Your task is to guess his name in 3 guesses, and his gift will be yours. Good luck. What is your first guess? So, again, another fairy tale. Obviously, it's Rumpelstiltskin. That is very close, but not quite right. Aha! This is where the note comes in handy. You read the note, and it says, sometimes it's wise to speak backwards. Now, you would think that this would mean all you have to do is spell his name backwards. So let's do that. Nick Slit Ulpmer. Nick Slittle Palmer. Nick Slittle Nick Slit Polymer. No, Nick Slittle Palmer. That's it. You know that's not right. Okay. So, I was wrong. It's not the name spelled backwards. Did I spell it right anyway? you have one more guess. So, Rumpel. Okay. Now, if you were playing the remake, that would have gotten you past this puzzle. But this isn't the remake. This is the original. And the original puzzle was actually much more difficult. It wasn't his name spelt backwards that you had to do. It was his name spelt in retrograde. And for those of you who don't know what retrograde is, imagine writing the alphabet backwards and then forwards, one right on top of the other. So, well, or forwards, and then so you're writing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And then you write it backwards right underneath that. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And that's the backwards alphabet. If you get that reference, then you get a prize. All right, so I just wrote the alphabet forwards, and I just wrote it backwards. So in order to spell Rumpelstiltskin, and get the points in this game, you have to take the letter beneath the letter that you're spelling. So for the R in Rumpelstiltskin, it actually translates to an I, because the I is right underneath it. So it would be I is the first letter, and then U translate to L, and then M translate to N, and then P translates to K, and then L translates to O, E translates to V, and S translates to H, T translates to G, I translates to R, L translates to O, T translates to G, S translates to H, K translates to P, I translates to R, and then N translates to M. So that's his name in retrograde. It's Ilinkov Grog Hperm. Ilinkov Grog Hperm is Rumpelstiltskin's name in retrograde. So you can imagine why a lot of people hated this puzzle. Because who would think of that, right? Who would? I'm sure a few people were able to figure that out, but most people weren't able to figure that out. They had to cheat to find out. They had to use a hint book or something. Because remember, there was no internet then, or there was, but you know, it was very small. Didn't have like cheats to games back then, and no World Wide Web. So you had to actually call up the Sierra hint line, which costed, I think, like $5 an hour, like some ridiculous price, or buy a hint book, which is what most people did. So they did make the puzzle easier in the remake. Well, let's see if it works. I might even be wrong. This might not be it. You didn't guess the gnome's name, but he left you a gold key anyway. Better luck next time. So yeah, I didn't even get it. I mean, I probably misspelled it. I know that's the solution. Let's take the key. It's heavy and cold. Let's see. See where I messed up here. IFN. Let's try this. I'm going to try this again. It's too bad I didn't save. Just because I want to get the full score this time around. I mean, I want to at least try for it. I'm trying to see how I spelled it wrong. I'm looking online now. I'm cheating. It's IFNKOV. And I fell in the water. The goat does not mind getting its feet wet, but will not swim in the water. You should go back and lead the goat around the water. Okay. So it's IFNKOVHGROGHPRM. So I think that's what I spelled. I must have gotten something wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have used the capital. I'm gonna try it again. See if I could do it this time. Come on, goat. Dooby dooby doo 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 diddly diddly doo doo doo. Do 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 do. Okay, here we go. The goat butts the troll right off the bridge. Thank you, goat. Alright, this time I'm gonna save when I'm there, so that if I mess up, I could do it. There's the crotchety guy, Mr. Crotchety. Okay. So yeah, I just want to do it in this order again. Still skin just to make sure I spelled it right. Oops. Talk to man. Come on, just get a little closer and do it. Rumple stilt skin. That is very close, but not quite right. NIKSTLITSELPMUR. Oh, see, now I spelled it right that time because now I knew he said something different if you spelled it backwards. You have the right idea, but your thinking is just a little bit off. And that's kind of supposed to hint you to, it's like, yeah, backwards is the right idea, but it's not the name spelled backwards, it's the name in retrograde. But it still wasn't enough of a hint for people to be able to figure this out. So now let me try and spell this right. LFNKOVHGROGHPRM, which I think is what I spelled last time. Unless, oh no, it's not an L, it's an I. IFNKOVHGROGHPRM. IFN, yeah, because the R translates to I. The U translates to F. Okay, so let me try this. Ifinkov Grog Perm. That's right. You've guessed it. Here are some magic beans for your outstanding accomplishment. Yay. And that gave me more points. Not much more, but either way you can beat it. So even though it was a hard puzzle, it didn't prevent you from beating the game. So I guess they really didn't need to change it. Being careful that you get every one of them, you place the beans in your pocket. What was kind of disappointing was I bought the remake when it came out because I actually never beat the first game, even though I had the original. I actually never beat it, and then I couldn't find the disc. I lost the disc that it was on, so I bought it again when they came out with a remake and decided to play it. And I got the hint book too. I don't know why I bought the hint book because it wasn't that hard, but I bought the hint book, and the hint book still matched the old puzzle. But yeah, this is one of the few games where I bought the hint book. I think they had a deal if you bought the game with the hint book at the time. I usually never bought the hint books, But I remember in the hint book it said the solution was to spell it in retrograde, the Ifankov Grog Perm name. But that wasn't the case because I just want to save again. Because in the remake, all you had to do was spell his name backward. Nixtlitz Ulpemer. Oh, I'm back here. All right, let me all right, I gotta find the fiddle, because that's the last thing I need if I want to get full points when I grab onto the condor. All right, let's look around here. Back to the castle. Okay. See, it's very easy to get lost in this game because there's just so many screens. They all just kind of, it's just like a grid you can just get lost in. Oh good, the fairy godmother's back, protecting me. I didn't know she comes back twice. In the remake she only came once, and once you used your thing, your spell up, that was it. Can I swim in this? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, in this game too, you don't automatically swim. You just drown as soon as you start jump into deep water. But there is a swim button, as you can see. It's one of the action buttons: swim, jump, and duck. You could duck. You could jump with this button. Made it sort of an action game in a way. But the only time you ever use the duck button is if the witch is coming at you. Obviously, I won't have to do that anymore because I killed the witch. And the only time you use the jump button is when you're grabbing onto the condor, which I will be doing briefly. But the swim button you have to use, otherwise you'll drown. Otherwise he doesn't automatically swim, he drowns. You have to push a button to swim. Alright, I'm a little bit lost. I'm looking for a particular item. See if I can find it. Looking for the bowl, basically, is what I'm looking for. Because I know I need that in order to get the fiddle, which I will need when I go to the land of the Leprechauns, which is they're the people that have the shield. See, this is where the fiddle is, but I can't get it yet. I'm surprised how much I remember about this game. I guess I've just played it so much that it's just ingrained in me at this point. Probably not as interesting as a blind Let's Play like the Quest for Glory one I'm doing, but I just felt like doing this just for memory's sake. And it's quick. Look at house. The cottage is run down and sparsely furnished. The only nice possession seems to be a fiddle in the corner. Talk to man. Welcome to my humble abode. So these people are very poor. She replies, I'd like to offer you something, but we do not even have food for ourselves. And they're hungry, they have no food. So, being a good knight, I, Sir Graham, will find food for the poor. And in order to do that, I have to find a bowl that is lying around here somewhere. It's on one of these screens. I think that's a water pump. It is an ancient rusty water pump. It probably doesn't even work. Use pump. The rusty pump doesn't work. Let's look at the axe. The handle has been broken and repaired. The head shows the signs of many sharpenings. The old axe is tightly wedged into the tree stump. You cannot remove it no matter what you do. You can't get an axe as a weapon. We have the dagger. But you actually don't even ever have to use the dagger. I mean, it's the only weapon you get in this game. You can use it against the dragon, and that'll kill him and get you past that part. But it's it won't get you that many points. It's better to take the peaceful route. They reward you for figuring out peaceful ways to resolve issues rather than violent ways. So throwing the water into the dragon's mouth will get you more points than killing him with a dagger. Because because Graham is a nice guy. He doesn't want to hurt even the bad guys unless he has to. You best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell of mine has weakened and departed. Just had to switch into a female voice like halfway. Yeah, notice how every time I get that protective spell, I never run into enemies. I always waste it. Back here. I know the bowl is around somewhere. I'm sorry for dragging this on. If I'm not mistaken, an enemy pops out here. Oh no, this is where the fairy is. Alright, so I got the magic power again. Clovers again. Thought it was near the woodcutter's house, the bowl. But I guess I was wrong. Maybe I just went the wrong way. I think in the remake it was actually on this screen. I remember it being near water. Wandering on the banks of the lake, you see a cute little elf. This is a small elf. He looks very friendly. The elf, impressed by your friendliness, gives you a magic ring. Kind person, know that once, only once, this ring will make you invisible, he says, and then disappears. So I get an invisibility ring, which is nice. What am I pushing the wrong buttons? The ring is gold with a breathtaking tiger's eye stone perched atop. And it's yet another item that you don't need, because there's other ways to get around puzzles. But it's good to have. It gives you points, I think. There's usually more than one way around puzzles, and the ring is just one option you can use, I guess, against things like enemies that pop out at you, or the witch, or maybe the leprechauns. But we'll see the leprechauns soon. Back at the woodcutter's house. Looking into the small hole, you see a faint green light. La, da, na, 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 na. This looks like it might be the screen with it. Ah, I remember this. Look at tree. This tree is loaded with walnuts. Take walnut. The walnuts are over by the walnut tree. Well, that's where I was. Let's try that again. You pluck a nice walnut from the tree. So we got a walnut here. Oops. It seems to be a good solid walnut. When you open the walnut, you discover the nut inside is pure gold. Again, we have another nice treasure that's utterly useless. Not that one. Gold walnut. You proudly admire your gold walnut. It's another useless item, but it gives you points, and if you have it at the end of the game, as long as you don't give it away to someone or have it stolen from you from an annoying dwarf that pops out sometimes, you'll have a full score at the end of the game. Ah, there we go. It looks like an interesting color for bowl. Who leaves a bowl just lying around in the middle of nowhere? It's so weird. Take bowl. You pick up the ceramic bowl. Now, this is interesting too, because you get this bowl, and you notice the word on the bottom of the bowl. It says fill. Now, if you try to fill the bowl, it'll say you can't do that, at least not now. But if you read what it says first, the word on the bottom of the bowl says fill. Now, you can see, notice how I got a point? Fill bowl. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Fill bowl. Read bowl. It says fill. Fill bowl. Can't do that, at least not now. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I thought you had to read it and then it would let you fill it. I know you have to fill the bowl somehow, but I think by saying fill. That's weird. Maybe you have to give it to the woodcutters first. Got beach. The river is dangerous and powerful. There's a delta of pebbles on its edge. Alright, let's take some. Take pebbles. Grab a handful of pebbles. So, now we have pebbles. Ye best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell of mine has weakened and departed. And again, I forgot to speak in a woman's voice. Not that I do a very good impression, but still gives a little color to this Let's Play. Okay, now this bastard, he steals your treasures. So look how fast he goes. That little dwarf caught you by surprise. Is your treasure still okay? Now see, I have 97 points. Now I have 89 because he took one of my things, and I don't know what he took. Looks like he took the diamonds. Yeah, he took the pouch of diamonds, which is unacceptable, completely unacceptable. So I'm gonna load the game and just try to avoid him next time. Yeah, I don't like that guy, not one bit. He's annoying. Alright, just gotta find that house again, which is somewhere around here. And that dwarf actually comes back, I think, in King's Quest 2. Or at least he comes back in the remake of King's Quest 2 that AGD did. AGD, if you guys don't know, it's adventure game design, I think. They've done remakes of the first 3 King's Quest game, Quest for Glory 2, and they have a couple games of their own. And they do a really good job. It's not just a remake, it's almost like a whole new game in some ways. Like, especially for King's Quest 2, it was like they added so much story and so much new areas that it was almost like a whole new game. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of point-and-click adventure games, because they make it into a point-and-click adventure game, like kind of like King's Quest 5 is, and King's Quest 6. Not like these that are parser interface. And the graphics are much better, obviously, too. Give bowl to man. Puzzled, the couple wonders why you have gotten them a bowl. Aha, it's a magic bowl. I shall fill it. The couple is amazed and delighted as the bowl miraculously fills with a bubbling stew. As a token of their gratitude, they offer their last earthly possession, the woodcutter's fiddle. Now, I guess in the remake you can fill it before you bring it to them, but actually it is kind of cool that they make you kind of fill it at their table because they're more impressed by it. Now I got to be careful here. This hole, if you fall in, you die. That's it. Let's look at the fiddle. The fiddle is beautiful. Is a beautiful instrument polished of wood. Take fiddle. The polished wood feels like satin. It seems to still vibrate from the last song it played. Nice. The fiddle is fashioned from polished cherry wood. Let's play it. Bring some joy to these poor people's lives. You play a lively, toe-tapping tune on the fiddle. Ho down. Alright. Let's head out of here. Didn't know that Aaron Copland was around in the 15th century or whenever this is supposed to take place. Oh, actually that isn't Hoedown. That's a different song. That's Do Your Ears Hang Low? Can you time to and fro? It's a different song. Hoedown is sounds kind of similar. Alright, so now I actually have all the items I need to get the shield with full points. Before I could have done it too. The clover was enough to get me past the leprechauns. But if you really want to get full points for getting past the leprechauns, you need the fiddle. And you also need the cheese for something else that you will be seeing very soon. And you know, I'm just remembering, the reason why I remember so much is because I saw Paw do his Let's Play of the version that's on the Sega Genesis, not the Sega Genesis, the Sega Master System, which is pretty bad. It's like a really bad port of this game. In fact, all ports that were on consoles of the King's Quest game, I think King's Quest V was a ported to Nintendo, are bad. Don't get them. I mean, check out the Let's Plays for a laugh, but don't waste your time with them. Play the game as it was meant to be played. And I actually don't even much like the remakes either. Like, I tend to prefer playing the original versions of the games, just because this is the version that was groundbreaking. This is the one. You know, it's like seeing Star Wars, the original, versus the special editions. Like, you want to see the movie that blew people away in 1977. And in this case, instead of seeing, you know, the one that George Lucas tweaked because he is anal retentive about his movies and added like lots of CGI puppets and song and dance numbers that were completely unnecessary, and of course Han shooting first, but I don't want to get into all that. But this is about King's Quest. But like I say, you want to play the game that blew people away when it first came out. This is the game that when people saw it in 1983, they had never seen anything like it. I mean, it doesn't look like much now, but back then. Be careful, nearby is a sorcerer. His mystical powers can leave you immobilized and helpless. Notice how fast they walk. You gotta stay at the edge of the screen when you're there. And I never have the magic spell on me when I'm walking by there. But like I said, you want to play the version of the game that blew people away. The one that has historical significance. The remake in 1990 was cool. It was a nice little side thing, but that wasn't the game that defined Sierra. That wasn't the game that defined adventure games. This is the game that defined adventure games. This is the one that started it all. This is the version you should play, I think, before you play any of the remakes. If you're curious about adventure games and how they started, this is the game you should start with. Which is why on my Let's Plays I'm always going to be playing the originals. For the most part, I'm sure I'll play some remakes here and there. for just to be interesting. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do, to be honest. I don't know how much time I'll have. I'll probably be bored of it eventually and stop doing them. But for now, I'm having a lot of fun playing these, recording my Let's Plays. It's actually, for the longest time, I wasn't playing any video games. I just kind of got bored of them, but this kind of has reinvigorated them for me and made them a little bit more fun, and gives me a chance to practice my voices and using my microphone, and also it's a way to procrastinate from recording music, because that's what I should be doing with these microphones, is recording my music. And I think actually I'm going to make a music video, one of the songs I recorded, using some of this Let's Play stuff. Might be interesting. So I write some songs, a bit of an amateur musician, hoping to become a little bit more than just amateur, but I know the reality of the situation out there. But I have songs that I wrote from when I was a teenager, actually. One of them was Drakus. It was on my YouTube channel. I'll put up the studio version of that, because I actually did record that in the studio. I just need to add drums to it. Watch out, there is an ogre nearby. He will crush you in his strong arms if he catches you. Ugh. Alright, here we go. See that mushroom there? See, that's where I have to go. The mushroom is on the far side of the river, but that river will kill me if I walk in there. So I don't want to do that. It's too rough. Even though it doesn't look like it's moving, it's kind of a still picture. It's too rough. So as I was saying, I have a song that I more or less finished. I don't have drums. I wanted to add drums to it. But it's called Drakus. It's about a dragon. Wrote it when I was 16. And I still like it. I still play it when I go to open mics and stuff. It's one of my few originals that I play. I have like 5 original songs that I kind of rotate. And I don't know. It has a very medieval sound to it. And I do want to add drums to it, but I don't have a drum set. And I'm not even that good of a drummer anyway. But I have the bass, and I have my keyboards, and my trumpet, my guitar. So I was able to record that with my voice and make something that sounded almost professional with Pro Tools. A little help from my friend, too, who was helping me produce the sound on it, make it sound good. So I think what I'll probably do is I want to put it up on YouTube, but it's just audio, so maybe I'll use some video from these Let's Plays and just put some of my music on with it and make like a really goofy music video for this. Because I'll probably use that scene with the dragon, because that dragon that dragon will be Drakus. It's all about a dragon that lives in a cave, wasting his life away in a cave, and then he gets slain. So it's kind of fitting, actually, to be using that. And I'm walking around aimlessly because I can't find the cave where the condor is. I want to get my magic shield, which should be around here somewhere. Let's see here. I'm just going to record this game all in one shot. I'm not really going to break it up into episodes. I mean, YouTube will probably make me break it up, but this game is short enough that you can just kind of blow through it, as long as I find the cave. Look at that tiny tree. It's funny. Okay. I know it's near the witch's house, which I think is up here somewhere. Back here. Yeah, I gotta keep going up, I think. It'll eventually just loop around, though, that's the thing. That grass is so tough that I can't even walk through it. Can't even walk near it. Alright, here we go up here. High up in the sky, you see a large, friendly bird. Alright, let's save because I want to catch this condor. The jumping is so pathetic. Alright, here he comes. Nope. This is always really hard to do. There we go. Where could this giant bird be taking you? It's actually harder in the remake, I think, to catch. Because you have to be standing in a very specific spot and time it just right. This game, it's a little bit more forgiving. It looks like they're using the same graphics that they used with the witch. Here we go. Let's look at these trees. Look at trees. You admire the beauty of the tree. It looks like there's berries. Take berry. Take cherry. Alright, I guess that's nothing. Before I jump in that, obviously that hole is where I'm supposed to go. But that would be a huge mistake if I jumped in there right now, because then I wouldn't be able to get out. In order to get out, I'm going to need this mushroom, and you'll understand why in a bit. So it's a trap. Like I said, this is the one part where there's dead ends in the game. You reach down and pick up a fat mushroom. This is the one part where you can get into a dead end. It's not a very deep dead end. You can't get too far, but it's very easy. I mean, if you've been saving, one thing you'd never want to do in Sierra games is just keep saving over the same save and only have that one save, because you can get caught up in a dead end. Like if I fell down here without taking that mushroom, I'd be done. There'd be no way for me to beat the game. It'd be a dead end, and you'll see why in a bit. So you always want to make separate saves with these games. They kind of fixed the dead, like the LucasArts games were better designed. They didn't have any dead ends. You couldn't even die in them, which I think I kind of like the deaths in Sierra games. They were usually pretty funny, especially in Space Quest. Ah. There's no mouse. This is a big, ugly rat. Alright, so let's save at the rat. See, I was saying how I like the deaths. Let's see what happens if the rat gets too close to you. Be careful around this rat. Next time, he's dangerous. It's all bloody and stuff. But yeah, Space Quest has even better deaths. Like, one of the best things to do in Space Quest is just purposely try and get killed. Alright. Obviously, you want to give the rat some cheese. The rat drools at the sight of the cheese and snatches it from your hand. You might want to count your fingers. Now, I think in the remake, the rat scrambles into the wall and seems to magically merge with it. In the remake, you could give the rat your treasures. The rat is actually a little anthropomorphic and talks to you and stuff. And you can give him your any of your treasures, like the diamonds or the gold or whatever. But of course you lose points because you want to keep as much of the treasure as you can. Okay. Open door. The door slowly opens. The leprechauns revere the power of the four-leaf clover. With it in your possession, they will leave you absolutely alone. So, like I said, I could have gone in here with just the four-leaf clover. And I would have been fine. But I would not try talking to the leprechauns. You might say the wrong thing. But with the fiddle, I can get even more points. Leprechauns love fiddle music. Have you ever seen such frenzied dancing? Totally involved in the music, they dance right out of the room. Everyone's gone. After his followers have danced away, the king of the leprechauns realizes he can lead best by following and leaves, forgetting his beautiful scepter. Come back, king. The leprechaun king ignores your words. Oh. I remember in the version that Paul was playing for the Sega, he just sits there and lets you take his stuff right in front of him. Let's look first. Look at throne. This is a rather simple stone throne compared to King Edward's. Look at scepter. The scepter is fashioned from gold and silver and accented with emeralds. Take scepter. Eagerly, you pick up the scepter. Scepter, you get points for taking it, but it's another useless object that's just there as treasure. Take shield. You take the magic shield and carefully put it in your pocket. It's quite some pocket he has. So yeah, now I get some more stuff here. The scepter, which is useless, but gives you points. It's another treasure. And I have the shield, made from titanium and edged with emeralds. Now the shield is useful because the shield will allow you to avoid death, basically. Any enemies that try to attack you or kill you will fail miserably, and because the shield just protects you from all sorts of harm. I don't know why in the sequels Graham never takes the shield with him, but whatever. I guess it would make the game boring. So now look at this tiny little hole here. How, if I didn't take that mushroom, I would be stuck here forever. The small hole leads to the outside world. See what happens. Watch what happens. I don't know if it knows crawl. Enter hole. You are much too big to fit through that small hole, so I would be stuck here forever. But fortunately, I grabbed this mushroom before I jumped in here. This is a large gray mushroom. There's no way out other than eating this mushroom. So this is what I was talking about, it being a dead end. They kind of, and they're mean because they tempt you to go in here, because like they say, when you look at the hole, it's like, why don't you get a little closer and find out? It's like they want you to fall into these dead ends, and in a way, it's kind of like they're trolling you. It's like they're taunting you. Space Quest was really bad with that. I remember some of the puzzles in Space Quest would get you to dead ends, and they'd just mock you for like doing it. It's like, oh, now you got to load all the way back. The Space Quest 2 had a really bad one. As soon as you swallow the first bite, you have this strange shrinking feeling. It's true. You are now no bigger than a mouse. It was almost as if Sierra wanted you to do that. Oh, by the way, if I walked around a little too much in there as the little guy, I would have grown, and then it would have been too late. I would have had no mushroom. I would have been stuck in the hole, stuck in that cave, and would have had, would have been too late. So that's what I'm talking about. These dead ends. They kind of they do them on purpose. It's like they get some sort of sick satisfaction from seeing you frustrated after hitting a dead end in a game and having to load up way back at the beginning or start over again in some cases if you were really bad with saving and only kept one save file at a time. You feel a stretching sensation. Oh, you're back to your original size. So now we got the shield. I'll save again. The magic shield. Got one more treasure to get, which is the chest. The chest is actually very easy to get when you have the magic shield. And I'll tell you why as soon as I get there. Now, in order to get the magic chest, you have to go into the Skyland. Actually, I can walk freely here. This is probably where I have to be, actually. You have to plant the magic beans. Let's see. Look at dirt. Look at flowers. See nothing special. Plant beans. That is not a bad idea, but this is not a very suitable place to plant these beans. Why don't you try it elsewhere? What's wrong with this? It's perfect. This is a flower bed. Is there another flower? Oh, this is where the fairy comes, I guess. So I gotta find another place where there's lots of plants growing. So, for those of you who know your fairy tales, like I said, this game is based on, like, all the puzzles pretty much are based on fairy tales. Like, eating the mushroom is straight out of Alice in Wonderland. Then you've got Rumpelstiltskin. You've got Three Billy Goats Gruff, and now we've got Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm sure there's a few other hints that I missed, like a few other references to fairy tales that I missed, and that's kind of the thing with King's Quest games. It was always based on, it was always referencing fairy tales and things. If you knew the fairy tale, you would probably get through the puzzle. It's all there. Like, all the hints are in Mother Goose. For those of you who read, who played some of the earlier Sierra games, like, I think the first one of the first Sierra games was Mixed Up Mother Goose, which is kind of similar, like based on fairy tales. Mother Goose, children's tales. So I could tell Roberta Williams was a big fan of the old classics. So now I don't know where to go, because I thought that flower patch was where I was supposed to plant the magic beans, but I guess I'm wrong. So is there another patch of flowers around? I know there's the clover patch, but I don't think you plant it there. Gonna have to ponder this quandary. Okay, this is where the wolf comes out. Let me try it here, though. He runs fast, but he can't kill me. Can't even get past that tree. Alright, back at this tree. Wow, I'm really lost now. I've ignored this. I should have mentioned this when I came through here, this door here. This is actually the door that you open when you get that golden key that the Rumpelstiltskin gives you. If you fail to answer his riddle, if you fail to guess his name, he gives you that gold key. And you can open that door, and you can actually go up to the sky world where the magic chest is, the land of the clouds or whatever. You can actually go up there that way, but you don't get as much points. It's better to guess his name. You get more points, and you get the magic beans instead of the key. So the magic beans is the other way up. And here we are back at the clover patch. Let me try it here. I don't think this is where I use it, though. Wow, I'm a little bit lost now, because I was so sure that flower patch was where I was supposed to plant the magic beans. This kind of threw me for a loop. Oh well, let me wander around for a while. I'll find it. La da dee dee da 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 da, abracadabra. La da dee dee da 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 da, hocus pocus. Na na ni ni na 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 na, pocus cadabra. Ra da da dee dee da 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 dee dee. Do do do. Rockatoko rockatoko, skit 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 doo tick tick doo, yak skit doo skit tick doo. You fortunately have the magic shield, which will protect you. Ha ha. Skip 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 skip. Skit skiddly dee, skit skiddly dee, skit skiddly doo, skit skiddly doo. This is where I'm supposed to plant it. I know this is it. Oh no. Oh no, an ogre. What shall I do? No, there's got to be another patch somewhere. I'm farting my way to the place where I plant the beans. Oh, I got a question for you guys. If this gets enough views, I'm hoping someone will be able to answer it. There's a classical piece of music that I've been trying to find out the name of for the longest time. It's like a waltz. It's in a lot of like Bugs Bunny cartoons, and it goes. It's like a waltz, and I know it has such a funny melody. It's like it reminds me of cartoons, like just wacky cartoons with like Daffy Duck and stuff. But I want to find out the name of it because I know it's a real song, like a real classical piece of music, but I can't remember. I never knew what it was called. So if you guys know the name of that song, that'd be cool. If you could tell me, I'd really appreciate that. It's like, there was that other cartoon song that goes do 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 bo 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 ba da ba da ba ba boom 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 ma na ma na ma ma mo 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 ma na ma na ma ma ba da 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 ba mo. I know that's another one that's in cartoons a lot that I'd like to know the name of. And what was that one? Well, there's that jazz piece. And he can't kill me. He fails. His feeble attempt at thwarting my plans have failed. This is really annoying. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just walking around aimlessly, and you're probably really bored. Probably really bored anyway if you're watching this Let's Play, but let's not say that. Let's be positive. Walking around, don't know where I'm going. Walking around, totally dee. Walking around aimlessly in Daventry. Boom, boom. Walking around, don't know where I'm going. Walking around aimlessly. Look at that alligator, he wants to eat me. Boom, boom. Scroodly doodly dee, doodly doodly doo, deep beep beep beep. Walking around, don't know where I'm going, just walking around aimlessly. Walking in here and walking there, I gotta plant some beans. Can't you see? And I can't do that, at least not now. I can't do that till I find the place where I'm supposed to plant these beans. And I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Walking around, don't know where I'm going. Walking around aimlessly. Walking around and I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I'm walking around and I don't know where I'm going. Just walking around here aimlessly, trying to find the place where I'm supposed to plant beans, but I don't know where it is. Yes, I don't. Go away, dwarf, you can't steal from me. Actually, did he steal from me? He might have stole from me. I missed that text box. Okay, let's try and get this done. This is going on way longer than I thought it was going to go on. I've got to find the place where I'm supposed to plant these beans. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna look online for a map of this King's Quest map. Just bear with me. Standing around 'cause I'm cheating at the game. I'm looking at a hint book online that has a map of this whole place, so I can reach the end of the game. Okay, there's the flower patch here. And there's two flower patches. Okay, there's two flower patches and they kind of look the same. One is across from the bridge. Okay. I know where to go. Okay. That was worth the effort to do that. To cheat a little bit here. So get me through the game a little bit quicker. Where am I right now? The walnut tree. Where is that? You walk up here. I think I know where I am actually. Okay, now we're gonna get somewhere. Now we're gonna get somewhere. Gonna walk this way. Gonna walk this way. Gonna walk this way. Now go down here. Gonna walk this way. Gonna walk this way. Gonna have some fun today. Gonna plant some beans in that patch of dirt and climb my way to the sky. 'Cause I'm King Graham, I know who I am. I have an owl friend named Cedric, but I don't meet him until the 5th game. A lot of people are annoyed by him, but I think he's kind of funny and weird. Here we are at last, yay! Here we are at last, yay! Here we are at last. The beans immediately sprout roots that reach deep into the fertile soil. Leaves unfold themselves to a warm, loving sun. A rumbling is felt, and a mighty beanstalk now stretches up into the sky. Alright, let's climb this sucker. Oh, I'm so happy. Climb beanstalk. Try that again. Climb beanstalk. I'm gonna save. Save. Climb the beanstalk. Don't fall to your death. Or you will have to load the game again like I just did. Actually, didn't die, but this is gonna be really annoying. I think I just can go straight up right here because the game is sort of bugged in that kind of way. And I remember that. With the wrong move, I fall to dizzy heights to the ground. I think this fall will kill me. Yep. And my hat fell off. Once your hat falls off, you know that's it. Alright, let's try this again. At least now I know I can go straight up without being penalized. Even though I'm kind of walking on air for part of it. Alright, now I gotta be very careful here. No! I guess I can't go diagonal. Let me just try going straight up. I don't think Jack found it this hard. Okay, so as long as my feet are touching beanstalk, I'm okay. So don't look at the hands, just look at the feet. Alright. In the hell again. Save constantly, so it doesn't take forever. That's the beauty of these games. You can save anywhere. Don't have to worry about starting from a checkpoint that is a long way away. That's a good thing. And I fell again. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. Not a good thing that I fell. Okay, it is kind of funny, but just keep your feet on the beanstalk and you'll be okay. And I failed again. If your feet are on the beanstalk, you'll live. Don't worry about the arms, they don't have to touch anything. Here we go. No, come on, I made it. How could I fall right at the end there? See how annoying this game can be? And imagine how it was when it took like a minute to load a save game back in the old days with those big old floppy 5 1/4 inch discs. It took forever. Like changing screens was like you'd hear the machine grind the disc away trying to load it. And then if you wanted to load a game or save a game, you'd have to take out your disc and put in the save game disc. Like it's gotten enormously easier with hard drives, of course. But back in those days, back before we had a hard drive and we were playing this game, and we're playing it on floppy disks, oh god, how difficult that was. It would take forever. have to switch discs, switch to the save game disc. Although if you had an extra drive, it wasn't so bad. We actually did have an extra. We had two 5 1/4 inch disc drives. This was before we had even the regular floppy disks. I gotta be careful because I can fall through the clouds here. It's like invisible holes in the clouds. I think as long as you walk straight, you're okay. Alright. So here we are in the land of the clouds. Now, there is one item I could get here that I'm not going to use, but you get points if you get it, so I'm going to get it anyway. One way to beat, obviously if you read Jack and the Beanstalk, you'll know that there's a giant here. Let's look at this tree. It's a very strange vegetation. What's on the ground here? Nothing special. Okay. David and Goliath, when David beat Goliath, who was the giant, he shot a slingshot at him. And that's what you can do in this game. You find a slingshot. As you see, I already found the pebbles. The pebbles are worn smooth by the raging river. And you use those as ammunition, and you can kill the giant. But, of course, since Graham is a peace-loving man and doesn't want to kill people unless he has to, that's not the best way to do this. And you don't get that much points for beating him that way. In fact, you might not even get any. I don't know. I guess we could find out. We could do it both ways. We have time. So right here is where the slingshot is. You notice a sling in the hole in the tree. Take sling. You reach into the hole and pull out the leather sling. They just call it a sling, not a slingshot, but let me look at it. Where is it? Dagger, gold walnut, magic ring, water buckle, no, pebbles, diamonds. Do I have it? Shield, scepter, water bucket, magic ring, gold walnut, carrot, note, 4-leaf clover, pouch of diamonds. No, I don't. Take sling. You already have it. I don't have it. That's strange. It's not showing in my inventory. Nope, it's not here. Did I get a point for that? I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. But yeah, if you kill this giant with a slingshot, you'll get the chest and you'll be able to win. But that's not the best way to do it. Best way to do it is to wait for the giant to fall asleep. And I think that's what happens in Jack and the Beanstalk, so it kind of makes sense. I'm going to save here because I want to try both ways. Now this is what I was talking about you having to type quickly. So I actually had to leave the screen. Sling pebble at giant. So this is one way to beat it. Okay. Shoot giant. Ugh. Maybe kill giant. Let me try. Sling rock at giant. I don't know. Alright, I don't know what the wording would be. Use slingshot, sling. You put a pebble in the sling, take careful aim, and luckily hit the giant in the forehead. He falls down dead. And you see, I lost a point. I went down to 132, but then I went up to 135 because I killed the giant. And now I can take the chest. The magic chest appears to have been fashioned from ebony and rimmed with edges with gold. So that's not, since the fact that I lost points before I gained them is not good. You should always be able to just gain points in this game. And to do that, You just wait for the giant to fall asleep. And I forgot that I had the shield, so I don't even have to run around that tree. You are fortunate that you have the magic shield, or this giant would cause problems for you. If you didn't have the shield, you could always shoot the giant, of course, with a slingshot. But the other way to get past him is to just run around this tree, and he kind of gets confused, and you just keep running around the tree, and eventually he gets tired and he falls asleep. He can kill you. I think it is kind of funny. It's kind of a shame that I can't show him kill me, because it's kind of funny when I think he stomps on top of you and flattens you. But he can't do anything to me now. Hi, Giant. Giant is in no mood for talking. The enormous giant has been carrying that heavy chest for longer than he can remember. The magic chest appears to have been fashioned from ebony and rimmed on the edges with gold. Alright, Giant. Time to fall asleep. I'm tired. What luck, the huge giant fell fast asleep. Oh my god, listen to this snoring. Take chest. Very carefully, you slip the magic chest from the sleeping giant's arms. Let's give it a look. Open chest. You are dazzled by the countless supply of gold coins spilling from the magic chest. You quickly close the chest. Alright. Cool. See where we're at. Have all 3 treasures. I'm about to finish the game. So now it's just a matter of getting out of here. There's actually another way out of here. And if you were paying attention earlier, you'll know that it's the cave with the door in it was the other way in here, so that's also the other way now out. The dark cave burrows its way into the steep mountain. Now, one thing I hate about this place is that there's a random chance that that annoying dwarf can appear, and that dwarf can steal one of your treasures. So it will completely ruin it'll lower my score, and it will ruin the perfect score, the chance I had at a perfect score, and I'm stuck behind here for some reason. Alright, here we go. It's not a perfect 45-degree angle, so I can't just push the diagonal buttons and hope for the best. Oops. In fact, I gotta be careful, because I might be able to walk off the edge here. I think this is actually the screen where the dwarf can come. Whoa, I almost walked right off there. Okay, little obstacles here and there. But he didn't come, thank God. He didn't steal one of my treasures. I think he can even steal the magic chest, which can really hurt you. But he didn't. And there's the door, as you can see. I was able to open it from the other side, even though I didn't have the key. So now, I think I've done everything I could possibly do in this game. I might have missed something minor that I just forgot about. But I'm going to assume that no, I got everything. And I'm ready to beat the game, because I think it's time. It's kind of getting late, and I kind of want to end this Let's Play anyway. So let's go back to the castle and see how the ending is. I have found all the treasures. Now I'm heading back to the castle to see King Edward the Benevolent. Long ago the 3 treasures were stolen from this land, but I have gone on a quest to retrieve them. And this ogre here, he can't hurt me, because I found the magic shield. Hello, alligators, I have found the 3 treasures. Now I'm ready to become the king. And I almost fell in the boat and died, and it would have ruined the whole thing, the effect of this open door. Yay. And, okay, 149 out of 158. So all I need are 9 more points, and I beat the game. Let's see if I'm able to get that. Alright. Seeing the king one more time. Can't forget to bow. I think you get points for that. Gotta bow again in front of him. Yep, got 3 more points. When you bow to King Edward, his pleased smile warms you. You move aside as the king steps from his throne. As you approach the throne, the king himself raises to commend you for a job well done. Oh, the king proclaims in pain. From the seemingly lifeless king, you hear these words. Well done, Sir Graham. I had a cardiac arrest, but you have been a good and faithful servant. Your reward is well deserved. My kingdom is now yours. Oh, how sad. Like, as soon as he gets the treasures back, he dies. With those words, King Edward the Benevolent dies. The experiences of your quest will be invaluable to you as you begin your reign as King of Daventry. So I didn't get a full score, but I tried. Thank you for playing King's Quest. From Ken and Roberta Williams, Saul Ackerman, Chris Idem, Jeff Stevenson, Mark Crow, Bob Ballou, Michael Knight, Susan Lee, Russ Truelove, and Larry Weisenborn. Mark Crow is one of the 2 guys from Andromeda, creators of Space Quest. Great game. My favorite game. Still my favorite game, even though I've played a lot of really good games since then. I've never had as much fun as I had playing Space Quest with my family. 152 of 158. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Well, thanks for tuning in to Let's Play King's Quest, Quest for the Crown. I don't know if I'll do the other King's Quest games. There's a lot of them. There's like 8 of them. But I might if I'm in the mood. But for now, this should be good enough. So, signing out. Have a good evening, and I hope you enjoyed the Let's Play. Goodbye.